Welcome everyone to the Progressive Action TV show. This is going to be a special show today. We have a special guest. We're going to get into him in a few minutes, but first, I want to talk about the basketball tournament that we have coming up at the Barclays Center. Tickets $35. The date is July 23rd at 2 p.m. We're going to have trains versus buses. So, subways, we're coming to bring the heat. I don't know what buses is going to do, but subways, we're coming to bring the heat, and it's going to be crazy. We're going to have honorary coaches, surprise guest coaches. I know at least subways do. I'm not going to say who that person is yet, but they're coming, and it's an MTA thing, so we go keep it 100. And I want to know how you guys are doing today. Normally I do this show live, but today I'm going to pre-record it. Because we have a special guest. And before I get into that guest, I'm going to play his video, and then we're going to have a conversation about the video. So let's check out the video real quick.
I swear, D-train conductors must be the most miserable people in the entire MTA. These motherfuckers don't let you connect to the connecting trains. And what's the point of being a conductor if you're not going to let the commuters connect to the connecting trains that are pulling into the station? Isn't that what the purpose of having a control room is? They don't let you connect to the C at 59th. They don't let you connect to the E at 7th Avenue. They don't let people connect to the F or M at 47th or Times Square. Like, what the is their purpose? It's like they go out of their way to make sure you can't connect to a connecting train. Like, they'll see the E train pulling in at 7th Avenue, staying clear of the closing door. Like, yo, what the Hold doors, bro. D train conductors, real talk. I'm sick of these and their bullshit.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got Alexander Anderson. How you doing, my brother?
Hey, good afternoon, Jamel. How you doing? Thank you for inviting me onto your show.
Yeah, no problem, man. When I seen your video, it wasn't the first time that I've heard something like that. And just to give you a little background, I am a conductor for New York City Transit. And when I seen your video, it was funny, it was serious. And, we take your concerns, we take the passengers' concerns very serious. So what inspired you to make that TikTok video?
Okay, well, the inspiration was that for some reason, my TikToks have gotten more steam from me complaining about the things I go through as a New Yorker. So on the day I made the TikTok, usually I laugh at people when I see them running across the platform to connect to another train, and the train door closes. Then when they try to run back to the train that they just left, the doors close too. So then they're basically stranded in no man's land waiting for the next train. So I decided to speak for the people and just voice my issues with seeing the conductors closing their car doors, versus letting the trains connect. But I thank you for finding the humor in it, despite my, language in the video, in the TikTok. So I do appreciate you for seeing the humor and comedy in my TikTok.
Yeah. I it was serious and funny at the same time. I guess, you're a Steelers fan, so, you get a thumbs down for that. We Giants fans over here.
Yes, of course. But I must say, as a New Yorker, I definitely cheer for the Giants to do good versus the Jets.
All right. So what kind of work do you do?
Dispatcher.
A dispatcher?
Transportation logistics, yeah.
Really? For what company?
Yes. Could that be secret?
Oh yeah, we could keep that secret. So,
but you the guys who service the deliveries in the brown uniforms.
Got you. Okay, cool. So you're in.
Yeah.
Got you. So when does this happen to you? When do for this particular incident? When did that D train conductor? What time was it?
It was around 6:20. I'll say between 6:40 and 6:50. Usually, because I take the early morning commute for the trains when they start to go express and stuff. And plus, a couple of years ago, I used to try to connect to like the C or the E to get off at 8th Avenue, but then I decided I'll just take the D train all the way down to 40 Deuce and just wait for like, the crosstown bus over there versus trying to run and catch connecting trains for my own personal preference.
So just to be clear, we talking about 6 a.m. in the morning. This is happening between 6 and 9 a.m. in the morning. Just to be accurate, right? So why do you think the conductor is doing that?
I don't know, but it's like, that's why I went on my rant, because it feels like it's done on purpose, because when the D comes, okay, so like, for example, the B train, the B local, there's like a 15-minute difference between the B local and the D express. And I noticed that, at 145th, the B and the D will wait for each other at 145th, not at 125th, but then at 59th, the D will wait for the B. But I've noticed that the conductors are quick to close the doors when it comes to the C train, when the C train pulls in at 59th Street.
Got you.
So that's how I had.
So I just want to be clear with you, right? Because this is the problem that we have as New York City train personnel. People think that we do this to be mean, but there's actually a rule in place that says between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. that we do not have to make connections, right? Now, for someone like yourself who don't know, you would think that the conductor was being mean. And in a lot of situations, conductors get spit on because of situations like this. They get assaulted. A lot of mean things happen to train personnel, cleaners, whoever people see sometime, they be upset. That's why when I seen your video, I'm like, all right, I have to get down to the bottom of it, of what time did this happen? Now, the issue that we have is that a lot of New York City transit workers, we get ridiculed by the public because nobody explains to you guys the rules. Nobody don't say, well, trains don't have to make connections during this time, because if you would have made that complaint via Twitter, the MTA would have fed into it and made you feel good that, we're going to investigate this, and they will investigate it. And if they would have found the conductor doing something wrong, that conductor would have been suspended, rolled up. A lot of bad things would have happened to that conductor. But the people who you should be mad at is not the people you see in uniform or wearing an MTA patch. The people you should be mad at is the MTA management who make these rules, who most of the time, don't even make sense to us, right? And they don't take the subways like you take it. Like, how often you take the subways a week?
Every day, Monday through Friday.
So picture this: the people who make the decisions, the people who say that we should not make connections, casually ride the subway versus you ride it every single day. How do you feel about that?
Well, when it comes to management, they always turn a blind eye to the real needs and pick on particular needs. And I definitely would like to say, I definitely do not condone any form of violence on an MTA employee. Like, those stories horrify me. Like, with bus drivers now who have the shield, before COVID for their protection, spitting on someone, trying to assault someone who's doing their job is definitely wrong and should not be done. And they definitely should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And my TikTok, I actually found out from people dropping in the comments about conductors are not supposed to make connections due to it being the rush hour and there being a train right behind the other. So my TikTok actually gave me knowledge to something that for all my years in the transit system, I didn't know.
Yeah, and I'm happy that you did the video. Like I said, I didn't take offense to it, but everybody is not like you. Some people really take action, against us workers in the form of violence. And I'm glad that you don't condone violence on transit workers. That's very important. And that's why I think that, for me, being a member of Progressive Action, transit and labor leader for New York City, that is good that us as workers and you as a commuter have these open dialogue conversation so we can understand each other, to show you that we are not the ones that make the rules. Now, I'm not trying to say that train operators and conductors do not do the wrong thing sometimes. But what I'm saying is, 9 times out of 10, we are following the rules, and we are following the rules of people who do not use the system like you and I use the system. Have you ever been to an MTA board meeting?
No, that I haven't. Like, I've heard about them and stuff like that. Like, I know that there's that group of people who are against, like, when the MTA raises the fares and stuff like that. But you know, when the MTA raises the fare, like, who could really stop it? You know, like, nobody.
No,
but
no,
I am familiar
I'm
with.
gonna tell you. See, that's untrue. The people can stop the raising of fares. It's just that a lot of people do not participate in the process. So the MTA, pre-COVID, we was getting 5 to 8 million riders a day. Right now, during COVID, we around like 3 million riders a day. Can you guess how many people come to MTA board meetings? Just take a wild guess.
I will say, excuse the lighting. I will say less than 100.
Oh, you're right, right? So we'll say on the average about 30 people. So we talking about 30 people, and let's use the pandemic levels. 30 people of 3 million people. How can you honestly get change with that type of support, right? Or stop something from happening with that type of support? Now, with the little bit of people that do come to the MTA board meetings, they do get changes and things do happen. So what I suggest is you should come to an MTA board meeting. I would happily accompany you, and I would love for you to tell the bosses how you feel. You know, tell the people who make these rules that don't make sense sometimes, how you feel as a New Yorker, and I will support you. I think that, you know, we are in the business of transportation. I've always felt that rule put workers in danger because we when we don't make the connection, we have to do something called platform observation, where we got to look back and forth before we stick our head in. And sometimes we get spit on and hit from the person that we left on the platform. And I think that us as a company and being allies with the riders, we should be making these connections even during those times. Because I've been told by supervision, when I did hold my train, why did you make that connection? You're not supposed to make that connection during something called commission hours. That's what they call it. Commission hours. So I was threatened to be written up because I wanted to make sure people get to work on time. I think that making the connections in the morning make more sense than not making them at nighttime. You know, people get written up when they late for work. You have a boss, we have bosses, right? I think it's more important to get people to work on time versus anything. But then you have the other scenario where my train may be late. So the people who's on my train who was on there early may be running late to work. So now, you know, it basically juggles and we don't know. But we have a saying that says this: people wait for trains, trains don't wait for people.
Yes, I saw some of those in my comments too, and your Instagram, and I'm like, what does that mean? Like, yo, it's amazing what you think you know versus the reality of a situation for what it really is. So, you know, I definitely feel better to have been informed of the matter. And I definitely, you had said something about Twitter. I know kind of like during the pandemic, I had taken to Twitter, adding the MTA in regards to like the train cars that were like, you know, dirty, or like, you know, the homeless people sleeping in train cars during the time, you know. So I have added the MTA at times, but not for a person, for like the conditions of like the subway cars in the morning, you know. And they do, you know, they have replied. So you're right about that. And they ask for like the train car number and everything, you know.
Yeah, they do their job regarding that. And as a New Yorker, you know, you deserve the best service. You deserve clean service. You deserve safe service. Let me ask you a question. Do you feel safe riding the subways?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, because my next question to ask you was, do you also cover the okay, so like New York City, right? To me is like a police state, you know? And you hear about cops working the desk. Oh, I'm sorry, let me just speed it up. I'm sorry. Back in the days, there used to be an MTA transit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which used to service the train system, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then they merged with NYPD. And when they merged, it's like NYPD is MIA in the transit system. So to be honest with you, I don't feel safe because, you know, again, coming from the Bronx, I feel that the city prefers to have cops protecting the crown jewel of Manhattan versus commuters coming from the outer boroughs. And of course, for the safety of conductors, if there's the potential to be physically attacked, you know, while doing their job. Like, it's weird. Like, there'll be cops hiding in storage closets looking for fare beaters. But then when there's someone going off in the morning talking about, oh, I might stab somebody. And I have to change train cars. It's like, I don't feel safe. And I definitely blame New York City and the NYPD for not putting NYPD cops riding the system in the morning or the evening, anytime. It's 24/7, you know?
That's very important that you say that because 2 days ago, I did a news story with Pix 11 because train crews are now, and bus operators and transit personnel, period, have started buying bulletproof vests to wear up under their uniforms because bullets are now flying on New York City transit property in the subways.
Really?
Yeah, you know, a few people been shot. And we talking about at least 9 incidences within the past 6 months, something to that nature, on buses and trains. So we don't feel that it's safe. But you're right. I've personally brought this to the mayor attention, brought this to the MTA attention of if they not hiding out in those rooms that you're talking about, they sleeping in those rooms. They taking naps in those rooms. And
for sure.
Yeah, and police officers have a job to at least deter the crime. You know, and let me ask you a question. How long have you been seeing or noticing cops hiding or not feeling safe in the subways?
I will say almost every morning now, actually, because
like,
you know,
how,
and
how
I'll
many like years, months? Like, give me a time frame like that.
Oh, to be honest with you, I've been in New York all my life. So I would say, you know, almost pretty much every day or every other day. Like, I know that when I sit in a train car, at some point I have to move to another train car, depending on who's boarding it and what kind of rant they're going on and the person, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're right, because now the excuse NYPD try to make is that they deterred from battling crime because of bail reform. And I tried to tell them that the cops been lazy in the subway way before bail reform. You know, these issues have been happening way before bail reform. And like I said, you as a commuter, me and my coworkers as MTA workers, we deserve a safe and reliable transportation system. And I don't believe that we have that right now. And I think that you believe the same thing, correct?
Oh, 100%. I'm definitely by your side on that. I'll definitely advocate for more NYPD presence, you know, because, you know, on the D line, there's the police station at 161st, 59th Street. And like, that's the only time I'll see them boarding and getting off at that stop. But then at the same time, like, I also had came across like a YouTube video from a guy who had been stabbed in a train car, and the cops were like looking in another train car, and he was like, how legally it's not the job of the cops to like save you if you're being attacked. And I'm like, okay, that's like crazy, right? Like, you'll hide in a storage closet to issue a ticket, but you won't. So what's the purpose of serving and protecting if you're observing in another train car someone being stabbed multiple times, and you wait till he's, you know, done with the act of stabbing to do something? Like, you know, I'm sure you might have a better idea of what I'm explaining, but I found that kind of horrifying too. So it's like, okay, if there's a cop there, they're not going to break up me being attacked on a train car.
I mean, that's news to me. I have never heard of that, but I believe you. You know, it's believable. I've never heard of it or seen it, but I could believe that happened. Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just crazy. So it seems like you saying that the police are doing more to police poverty fares versus the actual crimes that's happening on the platforms and trains.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I definitely. Oh, and I had mentioned the morning and the afternoon because the school kids between 2 and 3. If you have more than like 4 high school kids, it's a rowdy ride. They're not threatening anybody, but you never know. If someone says a wrong word, stuff could spill over very quickly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, anything you want to leave the people with before we get off this live?
Let me see. Well, one, I thank you for having me on. Much appreciated, and I will look forward to the invitation to the next meeting. Schedules permitting and stuff. And should I say something about myself at the end?
Say
a little shout out to myself. Can I do a shout out?
Listen, you can say whatever you want. Put your TikTok. Send people to your TikTok. I like your TikTok. Actually, send them to your social media. The floor is yours. Say what you want to say.
Okay. So hold on. I'm trying to fix my. Okay, here we go. This Zoom thing. I got to get the camera angles. Hold on for a minute. Let me. Okay, I guess that's a little bit better. Okay, so yeah, shout out to the ladies. If you're looking to get bundles, or do you hear the alarms in the background?
Don't worry about that. We good.
Okay. So shout out to the ladies. If you're looking to get bundles, wigs, or mink eyelashes, check me out at celebrityhaircore.com online and on the gram, Celebrity Haircore, Celebrity Hair CORP. You can check out my TikTok at the NYCOG. That's at DANYCOG, and on YouTube and on the gram. And I also do sports, so you can follow me at Lex Anderson World, again on TikTok as well.
There you go. Look, my boy said he got those bundles for sale. Y'all got to come see him, ladies. Summertime is coming right around the corner. See, look, you see how this worked? He was cursing out D-Train conductors. Now he could hook y'all. Listen. Hold on. I got to make a deal. You probably got to give the ladies of MTA some type of discount or something on a bundle or something.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So, like, if you're an MTA employee, just let me know. Again, at me at the NYCOG. Also, actually on TikTok, Celebrity Haircore as well. And I will definitely throw in a free pair of eyelashes or a waist trainer with your order.
Oh,
for
man.
sure.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Look, there you go,
yeah.
Bro.
Minimum 3 bundle order. Minimum 3 bundle order at least. Or a full length wig. I got you. Free eyelashes or waist trainer with your purchase.
That's dope. A matter of fact, when we speak behind the scenes, you can send me some information and I'll post it in my group. It got like 13,000 followers in there. This TV page got over 10,000. So if they not too mad at you, they go come do some business with you. I don't think the women is that mad that they won't want to come get some bundles.
Well, you know what? Again, I will, I should have added the parody or the hashtag comedy. I do respect the MTA employees, being a New Yorker myself, and the job that you guys and women do running the biggest transit system in America. I would definitely like that to be made known. So,
Well, we appreciate you, and thanks for doing the interview. Hopefully, maybe we'll hear from you soon again.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. I make sure to follow you on the platforms, so we're definitely gonna keep in touch.
All right, mute yourself, and hold on, and I'm gonna get back to the show. Give me a couple of minutes.
We'll do.
So that was our new friend Alexander Anderson. He cleared up his video. Good guy. Definitely check out his products. Ladies, check out his products. He said he throwing in eyelashes and waist trainers, minimum 3 bundle order. He goes set y'all out right for this summer. But yeah, thanks for tuning in to the Progressive Action TV show. Catch you guys later. Peace.